My name is Jason. I'm here for a Daily Dose of Hope, day 326. So nice to meet you. Nice to see you again. What is a Daily Dose of Hope? It's just that the energies on our planet have been increasing. And as they do, things start to get harder and harder to understand. And the energies also start to get increasingly, how can I say it? Harder to understand, and it's harder to stay in that middle path. And so what this is just to help you stay in that middle path, to help you to stay in between the two polarities. We always talk about the yin and yang symbol. We've got the yin and the yang, and then there's that little line in the middle, and that's that little line that we try to walk. And sometimes it can be difficult, and sometimes most of the time it's very difficult. So so today what I wanted to talk about was, let's see, the phrase for it. It was bottom-up processing versus top-bottom processing. So I was watching this video recently, somehow on my feed. These videos about autism popped up, and so there were videos about normal people and how normal people also are, some people are masking autistic traits, and I always think that's really interesting. This whole like autism concept is kind of new for me in this era. So when I was growing up, we didn't really hear much about autism. It wasn't and that idea of being on the spectrum and all these different things, these are all kind of new terms. When I was a kid, I grew up in the 80s. That was the beginning of all of the drugs for depression and all of these sorts of things. And psychiatry was kind of booming at that moment. That was a big boom, and all of these new drugs were coming out, lithium and Prozac and all these different things. And they're just like handing it out like candy to all of my classmates in school. And I remember like seeing classmates who were heavily medicated, and just, personality switches, personality changes. And so that was the kind of era I grew up in. But now we're in a whole different era. And I remember there was the Ritalin time too, where ADHD kids, and that was kind of new too at that time. Now it's kind of like everyone talks about it normally. But when I was a kid, it was just like, you are you, and you have certain traits that are a little bit different from other people, and that's what makes you you. But these terms have been increasing more and more, and that's not to disparage the terms. They are useful, but just at times they can overanalyze certain things that are relatively normal. But if you put a name for it and you put it in the the American APA, if you put it in the APA journal, then it's just like, it's a thing. You have to be medicated because you say a lot, sorry. So that's just my personal opinion about this. And so, but not to disparage it as well, because there are parts, everything has both the yin and yang, good and bad. And so this is not to say anything about that, but the reason I brought it up is just because it's kind of new to me for people in my generation. Growing up in that generation, this generation is very different with all of these different words, and it's kind of common and neurodivergent and all of these different wonderful terms, right? But the point that I wanted to get back to was that from this this video that I watched, they were talking about top-down processing versus bottom-up processing. So top-down processing is, for example, you see a forest, you say, oh, that's a forest. You see a house. You automatically just see the stereotypical or archetypal kind of thing. Okay, that's a forest, that's a tree. And most of us kind of use that way of looking at things, whereas people who are on the spectrum will go from the details and build it up. Like, okay, I see some wood, I see some leaves, there's a bit of a breeze, and they kind of process all that together and they say, forest. And so there's just two different ways of looking at the world. And I find, so when you're doing like kind of remote viewing and these sorts of things, you work on the details, and you try not to jump into like, oh, it's a tree, or this is a house, or this is concrete. No, it's just like, it's rough, it's quiet, just like simple adjectives, simple things, and then afterwards you put it all together. You try not to jump into like, oh, this must be the Eiffel Tower. No, it's just this could be anything. We don't know what it really is. And I think I thought that was really interesting how there was a crossover between that and how, kind of bottom up processing, I think, is a very useful thing for the time that we're in at this moment. Up until now, everything's always been the same. Up until like a few crazy years ago, 5 years ago. Up until 5 years ago, which was 2020, things were relatively predictable on the grand scale. We would know what's going to happen next. But after that, all of the rules were kind of out the window. We'd have no idea what was going to happen. No one knew. Well, okay, that's a different story. But many people couldn't have predicted that they would have reacted in the way that they did in those times of craziness. And if you talk to them from a few years before that, they would say, I would never do that. I would never do that. But then when you talk to them in that time, they're like, oh yeah, I'm doing it. And why aren't you? You should be doing it too. I'm sure you know what I'm referring to, right? But so this, this time that we're in, it's not really about, for example, it's Monday. So Monday is this and this and this and this. Monday's changed. Tuesday's not the same anymore. Wednesday's completely and utterly different. Fridays, oh my goodness. So instead of looking at it as this day and have your preconceived notions about it, maybe it's better to just pick up the little details about everything that's happening. And that way you can really experience this new multidimensional way of thinking. That's what I wanted to bring this to, that I think this bottom-up processing that they say that people who are on the spectrum do is a very, very useful thing. And I just want to share just a little aside about that. When I was watching it, one of the things they said that what people who are on the spectrum will do is that when they're watching, for example, a movie, they'll miss the main point. So the example that they gave was that they were watching this romantic comedy, or no, it was just a romance, and there were three people watching, and the two people watching were crying and say, oh my God, when he gave her that flower, just the most beautiful thing. I cannot, And then the other guy is just like, look at the way that guy's holding a cup. Like, no one holds a cup like that. This movie is just, and, and I heard that. I'm like, oh, whoops, that's what I do. Like, I end up talking throughout the movie, I'm a talker in a movie, and so people are just like, oh, I don't want to watch a movie with this guy. But I just tend to pick out the details. And if something just doesn't seem, it just kind of, I can't follow the story anymore because it's just like, no, I don't know. So anyway, full disclosure. I'm on some sort of spectrum. Naveed Mohammed, nice to meet you. Nice painting I have behind me. Yeah, thank you. It's, if I'm not mistaken, it's Hiroshige. Oh, and Van Gogh, right? Van Gogh. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, though, in these crazy times. It's important to look at the details that are happening around you, rather than just looking at, things up until this point have happened this way, so they're going to happen this way, is not really going to serve you so well in these times where everything is shifting and transitioning. So it's better to just look at the different things that are happening and build up your idea of what's happening from those little details rather than top down. So let's see. I'm going to go into a channeling. Hold on. Yeah, I'm on. Okay. I'm going to go into a channeling, and I'm going to ask if they have anything to share for this day, March 13th, 2025. It's about 2:40 in the morning, or in the afternoon, sorry, here in Japan. And it's many, many other times all over the world. So here we go. Greetings, we are that one that you know of as Sanatkumara, and we are here, and we are here, and we are here. And what we would bring forth today, what we would like to bring forth today, is the idea that you are special exactly where you are. You, in that space that you are, in that dot that you are in, is a wonderful place to be. Many of you are looking for other places that you want to be. I want to be over there. I want to be over there. If only I was over there. If only I was here. If only I was there. And you think about these things throughout throughout your day without realizing that you are already there, that you've never left there, that you can never not be there. You are exactly where you need to be at this moment, and at every moment you are there. So there is no need to worry about getting over there. If you need to get over there, you will be over there. You will get over there. There's no need to think about over there when you're here. You are here for a very, very specific reason. And you will find, if you accept the here-ness of where you are, that you'll start to see the realness and the reasons why you are where you are at this moment. So these reasons will be hidden to you if you are looking at other places, because you will not be focusing on the here that you're in. But if you focus on the here that you're in, you will see the reason that you are here and what you need to do in this here moment. All of you have very, very important missions on this planet and a very limited time to complete all of these missions. And so the more that you accept the fact that you are here for a very important reason, the more that you can move on and work on your mission, and you can complete your mission in such a short period of time rather than spending lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes to complete one mission. All right. So I'm going to go into, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm going to go into a pocket of peace, and this pocket of peace, we're going to go for, before we go into the pocket of peace, just an interesting idea that Sanat was talking about, the here-ness. And I think that relates also to these details, the top, rather than thinking about all of the different things that, Monday is Monday, it's like, no, I am right here. Where am I? What am I doing here? What am I feeling? What is different about now? It's another cloudy day, for example, or, so yeah, being here now. And my version is always, there was a book, I think, by Ram Dass back in the 60s that I had when I was a teenager and I loved. It was just the Be Here Now book. I'm sure all of you are familiar with that. If you're not, you should check it out. It's pretty interesting. Be Here Now. And it's just a really funky kind of hippy-dippy, not hippy-dippy, but kind of hippie, kind of like just colorful and, just fun book. And but my version is be here now sometimes. It's really hard to be all the time, but sometimes, we have those moments. So pocket of peace. What is a pocket of peace? It is a guided meditation to bring love and to basically create a force field of love and protection around you or around the space that you're in. So let's go into it. So pocket of peace. I'd like you to imagine that you are in a place that makes you feel the most relaxed. It could be by the beach or at your house or wherever it is. Just be there. All right. Then I'd like you to imagine that there is this mist of unconditional love that comes in, just surrounds you, and makes you feel so comfortable. It's this unconditional love. And you feel more loved than you've ever felt before. You feel more at home than you've ever felt before. Because you're loved unconditionally. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to have anything or not have anything. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much money you don't have. You're perfect. You're already perfect. You don't need anything. And this love is for you. This is your birthright. This has been with you before you were born. It'll be with you every single second and between the seconds of every day. And it'll be with you when you leave this place as well. This is your birthright. And this love makes you remember how at home you are. You remember that, I feel good. I feel like I'm home. More home than I've ever felt in my life before. And I feel good, and I feel like I've got all of these things in my life that I'm trying to deal with, but they're so small now because I'm just made of love, and there's nothing to worry about, nothing to regret. And you can feel this love just building up in your heart, and then it just spreads throughout your body, and then throughout the room that you're in, and then throughout the place that you're in, so the town and the city and the country, the prefecture, the states, wherever it is that you are, and it travels out at the speed of love, which is the fastest speed imaginable, and it travels out throughout all the highways, all the byways, all the cityways, all the subways, all the waterways, all the riverways, and even on the frequencies, all of the different G's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and it travels out through all of those different G's as well, all of the frequencies, and it's all love, love, love. Love, 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 love. It's all love now. So everywhere you go, you're seeing love. And it is just a revealance of what you are and what we are. And we're just remembering it. And it's going out there into the mass consciousness. And everyone's just starting to download it. And they're saying, wow, I don't know what this is, but it feels really, really good. I feel good. I feel good for the first time in a long time. I feel happy. I feel healthy. I feel loved. And yes, this is a wonderful feeling. And they're looking around like they woke up from this deep, deep sleep, and they're looking around and they're saying other people are feeling this love too, and we're sending that love out. I'm sending this love out to all of you who are listening, and all of you who are listening are also sending this love all throughout all of the mass consciousness. So we're just working together to create this pocket of peace around the whole world, so that everyone can experience this just peace and this love and this stillness. And you can see people all over the world, they're just stopping what they're doing. And those people who are lost and they feel like they're down this dark, dark tunnel, they don't even know where they're going, they can't see anything, can't see in front of them or behind them, and they have lost their hope, and they're just saying, you know what? I've got this now. I've got this now. The universe has my back. Nothing can stop me now because I've got the love. I am the light, and I am lighting up what I can see now. I can see the future. I can see the past. I can see all I need to do is take one step after the other and move into this most beautiful, beautiful time. And it just feels so good. And now we're sending this out to all of the stories, all of the mass media, all of our social networking, and we're sending this out so that it's only stories of love now. All the news is stories of love, 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 love. All the movies are stories of love. Even that Netflix, we've flipped that around. So now it's all love, 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 love. I almost knocked it down. So Netflix as well, we're flipping that. So you're going to turn it on next time you turn it on and say, what happened? I don't know why, but all the stories are love stories now. It's all about love. And all of the stories are uplifting. So everywhere you look, it's all uplifting stories. And we're doing that with our energy. We're doing that with our love. All right. So pocket of peace. Now, pocket of peace is something that you can do as well. I recommend it if you're interested to do it. You don't need me to do it. And if you are interested in reading where it came from a book. And I will, hold on, let me open it up for you, the book. It is, just to give you some background on it. Let's see, where do I have it here? Somewhere in here. Here it is. The book is called Sanatkumara, and it is by, hold on, her name is McClure. Let's see, hold on, let me go to the first page. Yeah, it's called The Story of Sanatkumara, or Kumara, Training a Planetary Logos. And it's channeled through Janet McClure. This is what the book looks like. And thank you, Kathy, for recommending this book to me. It was a really cool book. And thank you, Janet McClure, for writing this book. But if you read this, you'll find that the idea of creating a pocket of peace comes from that book originally. And so, all right. So I hope you guys are hopeful. Naveed Mohammed, it was nice to meet you. Yeah, it's always nice to see or to hear new people. So yeah. So thank you very much for joining in, everyone. And I hope you're hopeful. And hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. So ciao for now.